regular session of the Town of Lakeview Council for November 10th, 2015 to order with starting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Do we have any public comment? Mr. Lynn?
Yeah, just want to let you folks know that I appreciate it. I'm sure a lot of other people appreciate the new sidewalk and curb that you.
We like it also.
I
Greatly appreciate it. Anything else?
Are you folks going to cover liaisons?
Well,
Later on during the
it's on our agenda. We probably are going to, or I'm going to suggest anyway, that we have a work session so that we can explain to the new people what all these committees are before we actually make appointments.
Oh,
So we're not really going to make appointments today. It's at least my suggestion, if the council agrees with me. Okay? Okay, communications, comments, informational items. We don't have any department heads here, do
Well, we don't. Matt is on sick leave. Scott Utley is actually at work. Last day of training for our newest part-time dispatcher. So he's been really busy the last few days getting that taken care of. Dennis is elk hunting. Daryl Anderson is elk hunting. Jeff Marshall is in Klamath taking 2 tests today for his qualifications and certifications as being our public works director.
Great.
But I'm here.
You're here. Well, under communications, there's the SCOAC, November 13th, 2015. Was there something, I missed something, or did I?
We were printing bills, so I wasn't able to make a copy of the agenda for the SCOAD meeting this Friday.
Oh, okay. So that's a meeting on November 13th?
November 13th at the Commissioner's new hearing room, and this is kind of faint, but 10 o'clock, and it's our quarterly SCOAD full board meeting. So Mike probably,
I'll probably be there if that's all right, right?
Absolutely.
If you want to look at it, pass it down. So. Okay, we have the department reports and committee minutes, updates. Police department, and as the manager said, Matt is on sick leave at the moment. So
We haven't updated at all on his,
The last note I had that we're anticipating he'll be back to work Monday.
oh,
So he was, he had an appointment Thursday, I think, and we'll know for sure if he'll be back Monday by then or not.
we have 911 with Scott Utley. Dennis Morrow has a report for the fire department, and Jeff had a public works monthly report. So any questions or comments on those? And we have our manager's report. So anything to add or to that, Ray? Or?
I don't think so. I shared my pictures of the elk hunting trip. So. On my cast,
I missed it. So you got one, huh?
My nephew did, and another friend.
But your party did?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
anything to add to your report?
I won't believe so. Sure.
Things are moving along with various projects. That's
Yep.
one good thing. Okay, consent calendar, we have the regular session minutes for October 27th, 2015. Are there any questions or corrections to be made?
I move that we accept the consent calendar.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Unanimous? Mayor, council manager updates. Let's see. Ray and I and Matt Gray did an interview for one police position. We have not yet heard whether or not he's going to accept our offer. He is a certified officer in another community. I did attend, well, I've attended 2 so far of the Christmas committee meetings, and they're progressing well with plans for the holidays, opening on December 1st. And the Lake County Local Public Safety Committee, which is finally known as Lip Sync, was last week. I attended that meeting, and last night was a planning commission meeting that I attended, so. Sharon?
I was at the Chamber of Commerce board meeting for November. I want you to be properly impressed. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. And we're gearing up for the gala, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, January 9th for the gala. And we're also talking about the awards for community improvement. And I don't know if we should be working in tandem with them, or we're gonna go off on our own, so we need to maybe consider that, because we've talked about it, we're doing something, and they're doing something, and they at first had announced, I think, through the paper, that people were expected to come in and get the application and say, you know, I'm wonderful, we should get this award, and I didn't think maybe people really would do that. So we've opened it up for nominations as well. So if you have somebody that you think maybe should be nominated, I can get, or you can stop up at the chamber and get those. But gala coming up, and we also need nominations for junior and senior first citizens, and it'd be nice if we had several of those. And that's about it, I think.
Ray, did you have anything to report? No. You're not on any committees.
Nope, I have nothing to report.
We're glad you're.
I did see this though, because this is the list of,
Right,
He's got that list.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you want
I've
to look at
already-
those and,
I've already been working on that,
good.
as soon as I can find it.
I-
All I need is another,
Yeah, you'll have lots of paper.
more papers. Amy keeps, I don't know where she comes up with all these papers.
There you go.
But there,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's 3 of them so far that
that you'd like.
I'm interested.
Good.
Okay.
Now, Joe,
Well, that's on our agenda, so we'll
Yeah.
address that when we get to the new business. Mike?
Ray, don't feel left out. I don't have anything to report, and I
Oh.
have committees and assignments. No, I don't have anything though to report, nothing active, so.
Okay. All right, we have nothing under old business. Under new business, we have the council president appointment, which we need to do. Do you have any nominations or discussion?
Madam Mayor, I would nominate Mike Warren for council president.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a nomination of Mike Warren for council president, and
Will he accept?
will he
Does it
accept
matter?
that
Oh.
position? Yeah, he will, okay.
I'm on the railroad commission, remember?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Railroad, you like that.
Okay, so we have a nomination and a second for Mike Warren to be council president. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimous.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good
I
job.
think you may have to move on.
Yeah, I need to get out of
Well, I like
the
this chair.
No, I don't know.
You're in the hot seat?
I don't know if it's the hot seat or not. It was turned up pretty well by a nice lady that did well, but I just assumed that abdicate to our council president.
Okay, we have the liaison positions, which we kind of briefly discussed already, and I am kind of in favor, if the council agrees, to have a work session, maybe the first meeting in December, since this meeting, I'm not sure that I'm gonna be here for the week of Thanksgiving anyway, and so we can start at 3 perhaps and go through these things and explain kind of what they are and what people are interested in before we make appointments.
Well, and Darwin would be here.
And Darwin, we need everyone here,
I think-
so, yeah.
I think you need to know what you're getting into before you.
Well, I would like to know a little bit about
Yeah.
Right,
something before I jump in there, but
that's right, okay,
there
so,
is some things I do know about that.
Yeah.
well, that's what we want to know, kind of where your interests are too and so on.
So that would be December 8th.
December 8th, yes, that,
The same day as ours,
so we will postpone that.
Since you're discussing work sessions, and actually I would have a note, I was going to mention this under as manager update, but I've been, in fact, just yesterday and today talking with the county with regards to the Red Rock biofuels project. And it appears that we are ready to have to approve the long-term enterprise zone agreement between Red Rock, Lake County, and the town of Lakeview. And we were tentatively, subject to your thoughts, looking at the 24th of November, the Tuesday. Sandy just mentioned she may not be here. The Tuesday before Thanksgiving, to have a combined meeting with the county commissioners, or at least start it out that way. Of course, we could have our regular meeting following if we have things to do. But that was a date that worked for them.
I will know on Thursday
Okay.
when I'm leaving town, but right now it's a little up in the air, but
Okay.
we can't have that, well,
We may have to push our council president into service that.
What time is that meeting?
Well, it would be, the meeting would be at 4 o'clock. What I was going to ask is, thinking of work session, it's been a long time since we discussed much of the details of the enterprise zone agreement. I think you guys are aware of what we've been doing, but if you wanted to have a work session maybe at 3:30 on that day as well, to
before the
just
meeting with.
before the meeting with the county, just to become familiar again. I can get the draft out to everybody well ahead of time, so you can have a chance to read it.
Is there, if,
The only things we've really been discussing have been the community service fee and how that would be split, and kind of the conditions around that. That's what Mike and I have been spending quite a bit of.
right, I know Mike has
Yeah.
been very involved in that too, so.
But apparently the county is agreeable to the conditions that Mike and I have been discussing with them, and that I laid out for you in an executive session a month or so ago. And I know the Red Rock people are ready to get this piece done. I think it's important to their finishing up their financing to know that tax agreement, it's a tax abatement agreement is what it amounts to. So.
Savings of a lot of money for them. It's advantageous for us to have them too, though.
Yes,
So Sandy, well, I guess that works for the county, and should we just plan on having that meeting that day, and we're just not sure whether Sandy will or won't be here?
yeah, I think so, I'll at least see the draft and
Yeah.
voice my
Yeah.
opinion if I need to.
Is that meeting going to be here or at the courthouse?
It'll be here. They're having their meeting. Of course, we didn't
Well,
know.
the work session will be
The
here.
work session and the regular meeting will be here too. They'll join us
Oh, they're
here.
coming to our place?
Really?
Yes, they are.
Oh, wonderful, great.
Because,
Do we
well,
have to
and of
raise
course,
our
Ray's,
table a little?
have you been to their new meeting room? It's very nice.
I'm sure it is, I'm
Uh,
sure it is.
it's-
Ray
very nice, yeah.
typically isn't available, like for a 10 o'clock meeting in the week with, like with the county, when their regular meeting date or time would be. So that's why I suggested that we do a late afternoon one, because Ray's off about 3 o'clock generally.
Yeah, but now I'll be off.
Now you're just gonna.
Now it doesn't matter, so, but I didn't know that when I was
No,
talking with
well,
the
we didn't either
burger.
till today.
Well,
It's
then,
kinda
if
scary.
that's,
Okay, so we'll schedule it.
yeah, go
I didn't
ahead,
see
well,
that. I'm always nervous.
what am I saying, gonna say, you know, can you wait 2 days until I know for sure? I will have an answer for you,
Okay.
provided My husband gets home from elk hunting on Thursday as promised.
I was wondering if I could ask a question.
Yes.
It's not really, I don't need an answer, but anyway, on the liaison positions,
Uh-huh.
your liaison positions I know are different than the counties because they have their liaisons for a lot of elected positions over in the county.
Uh-huh.
So those people, there's only certain things they can do with their elected position. Here, the only elected people here are the council members. But anyway, on the 3rd, I would appreciate it if you had a sheet that would say, hey, this is what we're allowed to do as council members in these
Yes.
positions. Where at the county, I've asked them, and they tell me, for example, what can you do about the treasurer? Well, she's an elected official, we can't tell her nothing.
That's probably true.
Per se, is it, you have
Well,
to.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
in our council, there's some definitions in our
Right.
council rules also, but yeah, that's one of the reasons that I wanted to have the work session is
Yeah, that'd be good.
so people know what their responsibilities are if they're appointed to
Yeah,
that.
what you can and can't do, because,
Yeah.
there's certain things they can't do with elected positions over there, but most of
Right.
the people that work for you are not elected.
That's correct.
Right, so, appreciate that, thank you.
Okay, and the liaison positions, is the council agreeable with
Yeah, it sounds
I-
good.
I-
I have no problem with that.
I especially.
tabling that until we have our
I
work
think
session?
Darren, I mean, you hate to say, okay, Darren, nobody wants these, you can have them. I mean, we might get to that, and that's not fair. So I think we need to have Darren here and
Darwin?
Darwin, that D word.
Okay, we will table that until our meeting on the 8th, so December the 8th. and I assume 3 o'clock. I think it'll take at least
3
an hour
o'clock,
to go.
24th,
No, 3 o'clock on the 8th.
oh, on the 8th.
It would be probably 3:30 on the 24th if we have that.
Yeah, the 3:30 one would be for the Red Rock. Okay, the last item on our new business is authorizing annexation procedures for multiple properties, and there's a list that was that was laying in your place of 6 properties that are applying to annex into the town for water and sewer and be a part of the town.
Over the past several years, we've had a number of properties that have requested water and sewer service from the town that are not inside of the city limits already. When those people request and are granted water and sewer services, like a couple of meetings ago, we granted out-of-town service to Greg Baker and it was Wakeman. When they request those services, we require them to agree to annexation when and if it's available. So we save up properties kind of so that we can then share the cost of an annexation procedure over the bunch of properties. So the estimate from John is that it's around $3,500 to maybe $4,000, depending on the length of the legal notice, to do an annexation procedure, and then we would share that by the 6, the people that are, the properties that are being annexed. So these are all properties that, except for the 42nd group at South 12th Street, theirs is just simply a request to annex their property. That the old McFarland North plant there already has water and sewer service from the town of Lakeview from back to about 1990. But theirs is simply a request to annex. All the rest of them are properties that have agreed to annexation when service was provided to them in the past. From the maps in your packet, but the big map up on the top there, the bright white area is all of the area of the town of Lakeview already that's been annexed. And then the yellow spots are the 6 properties that are requesting annexation or subject to annexation at this time. And as you can see, they're all contiguous to the town of Lakeview's existing property. A couple of them are contiguous because the street, like K Street, for example, is already a city street, the one that's near the new Head Start facilities that we're going to build. So they're all eligible for annexation because they're currently adjacent to the town, and they've agreed to annexation in the past. So we would begin this procedure with your authorization, and along with that, then John has to prepare a legal notice, schedule a public hearing. I believe it has to be published 3 consecutive weeks, and then we can have a hearing, or the hearing will then be probably at your, possibly the December 10th meeting, but more likely the December 8th and 12th, the 22nd, December 22nd.
What's the solid yellow?
Patches,
It's what?
the spots that are
Yeah.
solid yellow, those are the parcels that will be annexed.
Okay.
Those are
Tho-
this list.
Yeah, okay.
This one is up on E Street. You remember the argument we had with the county over the extension of the water and sewer in the street, and we didn't get to extend it clear to the end of the block because they wouldn't give us permission to dig in the right of way. This is Mr. Eustace. This property here on this corner is Forrest Bradley. This one in the middle is Greg Baker, and this one is Wakeman that we approved just a couple of meetings ago. This one here is Al Strain, and this
This
is
is the-
the McFarland Door property. Just for reference, the Head Start facility is going on this north part of this block right here in between these parcels we're annexing.
They're already in the,
They're already annexed, and then K Street and L Street are already annexed into town.
Is this property right here what we just recently annexed, right? The one that we had the request for from, it's been a year or so ago, or maybe even longer than that.
We haven't done an annexation since, the last annexation we did was actually this one out here on.
That was just for service, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was probably just a request for service.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
we
that's
did have
the-
a couple of
the
those.
long line.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's other properties that we have that have agreed to future annexation, but they're not contiguous with the town at this point. So we can't annex them because we don't have a road adjacent to them, or some other way that we can tie to them.
It was Chuck Kelly's request as well, and it
Oh.
was water and sewer, and that, was that on?
It was down here,
Okay,
and it was already
in the
town,
industrial,
yeah.
okay.
So this begins to kind of do some infilling a little bit. Actually, what they do is those 6 properties will add, I don't know, $500,000 to the value of the town,
Tax base.
times $6, could add, several dollars to our tax revenue annual. I guess, I hate to look at it as just, that's all the reason we're annexing, but it is a matter of if we're providing services, we need the
We want our
revenue. to help do
services
it.
this way.
yeah, it's a difference between saying we're annexing no matter what you think, and we're annexing because you've asked us and, you want.
They wanted something from us, so we granted them their water and sewer service, and in exchange, we will annex them when the opportunity comes.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, do we have any further questions or comment from the council? Okay.
Madam Mayor, I move to, direct our town manager and his attorney, our attorney, to commence with the annexation procedure on our listed properties.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
A motion and a second to direct the manager and town attorney to begin with annexation procedures of the listed properties that we have. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Any other questions or I did have a little note from the new motor services Chevy garage in town, thanking us for attending. I'll give it to Amy, she can put it in our next packet. for our support in our new endeavor.
Just as a matter of, is that still not a property that is annexed into the town?
No,
It's not contiguous with,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a, well, you see it on the map there, there's a piece of property north of Highway 395, or Highway 140, and between the railroad tracks and the fairgrounds that has not been annexed into town.
And in the void.
Well, of course, there's a piece on the south side of the road too, where Ag and Auto, Staub's, Pacific Pride, a number of those. Also, you know, we almost created an island there because down on North S Street, when we annexed Patricia. Robnet. There's just one parcel between there and the highway now that prevents us from having an island there. Something we may want to have some discussion about at some point. We could, you know, actually we could annex North 2nd Street, which is a county road at this point, into town, and then we would actually have blocked that in. But you know, it's more of a political decision than anything as to, yeah, most of those people, I would say all of these properties are provided with water and sewer service. Many years ago, sometime in the 70s, 80s, apparently the town's policy was a little different than it is now, that we would provide water and sewer service based, I guess, just upon somebody requesting the service, where nowadays we will provide the service. Hall Motor being a good example. They signed a consent to future annexation. And if you'll remember, also the county did that out here where the man camp
yes.
is located. They agreed to future annexation of that property as well. And I have 2 or 3 others like that in the file that just are not at a location that meets our criteria at this time.
Okay.
Okay. Any other business? Okay. So we will close